There was one show that we particularly championed earlier in the year that really fell off. Gangsta.
Ooh,
No.
Gangsta. No.
I've absolutely given up on Gangsta.
It was like my favorite thing starting out. It was cool. It was like really mature. Like we don't see a lot of anime take place with adult characters. Like these guys are in their 30s.
30s. Yeah.
Which is weird, I think, usually.
You don't see a lot of them, and I like that. I like having older
and it took on sort of more taboo subjects like prostitution and drugs and violence and stuff like that.
I remember
games.
being so happy with the way they
Gangsta.
portrayed sex work in that show, and then it never went anywhere. I'm so disappointed.
It just turned into this convoluted mess at the end. I don't understand why they introduced so many side characters at the end. And I'm like, I can't keep track of all this. I was having a hard time keeping track of the 4 families and trying to figure out how that was
hard enough. I kind of want to cosplay Battle Axe Girl. I don't even know her name, but
Battle Axe Girl with a lollipop.
Yeah, the lollipop girl.
She's in the
she's pretty cute.
second to last episode. Yeah, that's it.
Totally, totally would cosplay her, but that's about it. Yeah, we had an episode a while back about anime that started out promising and kind of fell off for us, and this one is kind of like the poster child for that.
Yeah, the king of that. Like, so, like you said, it just gets really convoluted. Like at first, it starts really slow paced. Like, hey, we're gonna like slowly, ease you into this world. Like all these 4 main families that are pretty much running the city, and then you find out about the Twilights and how Nick is special and
so far I'm like, all right, I'm with you.
Yeah, it's like, and then they need these drugs, but then the 4 families run all the drugs, and then they're kind of in a weird way taking care of things, and like how important they are to the city, and then all of a sudden like
and then
like
these hunters,
right? Yeah, like and then. Surprise! Like all these weird things are happening. Like I think the biggest problem was even early on. It's like we didn't have a central conflict. We're like always like, what is happening? Like what? Yeah. What's so wrong? Like, even the description or the synopsis for the show like doesn't really make sense anymore. It's like what the overall thing is.
It's like
they take on a job that get them into a thing, and it's like they're these guys for hire, and they get to take this job.
They're like
it's more than
mercenaries.
it's more than what they bargained for. It's like that is not the show.
That's not what it is.
And it felt like they dropped the whole thing with Alex. Like I thought they were going somewhere with that, and then they
totally fumbled Alex.
Yeah, I
completely.
I guess it's 12 episodes. I thought it was 13 episodes because the ending, again, without trying not to spoil things, it's so hard to talk about things without saying things.
The ending is just the worst.
I do not.
I've never seen
no
a worse.
I'm
conclusion.
gonna watch it because I want to be able to like really evaluate how much I dislike it.
Right.
But
I mean, it's just
sometimes you have to watch trash stuff to really appreciate stuff that's good.
The good stuff.
Like as a critic, like I find it valuable. So I don't find it like a waste of time. But I feel like as a fan of anime, it's gonna be a waste.
There's
of
good
time.
trash like Umaro, and there's bad trash like whatever this
like
ending
the end of
was.
Gangsta.
Which I'm telling you, there's got to be 13 episodes because the ending makes no sense.
Yeah, so it's an ending that expects more episodes. And it's just like, but we aren't guaranteed that. Yeah. I mean, like, even reading some stuff, like, the manga's still going. This arc that they're technically in right now is not over. And usually whenever that happens, so, like, they'll come up with an original ending or something and do stuff that's exclusive to the anime, which makes sense. Like, that's what Kekai Sensei and Blood Blockade Battlefront did. Yeah. Like, they had, like, this amazing, arc within the anime that's just that. And it's, like, this, like, great original story. Which is finally gonna finish. Yay! Finally.
I can't wait to
I'm so excited.
Watch that.
But then you see Gangsta just try to take off everything that's in the manga and not execute it super well halfway through, and then you're just like, well, I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
The I don't want to say translation because I don't mean like linguistically. I just mean like translating the from manga to anime. The pacing was so thrown off by that, and they did not handle that well. So even in the beginning, I was less a fan of it than I wanted to be almost. Even in the beginning, I was like, okay, I'm waiting for this to really get started. And then it got started, and there was one episode, the flashbacky episode, that was like, yes!
Yeah, like from there we're like, yes, like this is episode like, that was like 5, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, it was like literally in the middle.
Getting halfway through, and like, you're like, finally, it's picking up.
Oh, right.
Yeah, here it goes. And then what? Like, you start getting just shoved information in your face. Like, the thing about the first half of Gangsta was like, it was so subtle and like was very, not necessarily timid with its information, but just like, hey.
It just spoon-fed you.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, like very, very
slowly.
Like, if we give you a mystery, like if we gave you a mystery, then we solved it the next episode. Like, you had your answers. And then all of a sudden, they're just like, let's just shove a bunch of information in your face and hopefully you get
And
it.
the focus was no longer on the handyman and Alex as much as these side characters. And I was like, I don't know them very well, so I don't care.
Yeah, like it didn't. There's a way to handle side characters well within the arcs of the main characters, and that just didn't do that.
The handyman became like people in the backseat.
Minor characters in their own show.
Totally on the back burner. And I just felt like every episode there'd be new terminology where I'd be like, did they tell me that before? Like I would just get new, just new words. And there's this quote that I don't necessarily agree with, and I forget where I saw it, but it was like it was some author's quote that like the more words you make up in your story, the lower the quality. And I don't agree with that in general, but in this case, I was like, you're just making up words and not telling me what they mean. And I'm like, okay, so there's like 3 words for Twilights, and we got like just
okay, it's not just me. I was like,
there's like Twilights and tags and something else, and I'm like, I don't need to learn. First of all, I already have to I don't speak Japanese fluently enough to watch this, and then I have to learn just a new language for this show, basically, new terminology, and it's not established in a way that builds a world where like a lot of fantasy. This isn't fantasy, but fantasy where you do have a lot of made up terminology is part of the world building, and it's explained well. And this just didn't happen.
But poor world building can really hurt a story.
Yeah, it's just really disappointing because we finally get some like attractive adult male characters. But in all seriousness, it's like you have interesting characters like that are adults that do really interesting things.
It's so rare. I love seeing that. I want to see more of that. Like I don't want this to be, I don't want anybody put off by Gangsta like from adult characters, because I do really like that.
The adult material isn't the problem. It's more like the way it's presented.
The way it's presented.
It's just mishandled.
Yeah, it's definitely just a shame that we saw like this cool, promising thing just nosedive.
My favorite part is still the opening.
Yeah.
Yes. The opening is awesome, and that's about all I can say.
Yeah.
Right now.
I'm so sad. I hope someone told me the manga was better, but so I mean if you have been reading the manga and you would recommend it, I would like to know. Anybody who's listening. So
yeah, I feel like the terminology is better explained, and maybe some of the characters and events are more fleshed out, because it does feel like they're all trying to squish it all together in a dozen episodes, and that's just not going to work.
So Gangsta was definitely our biggest disappointment. Let us know what yours was.
Yes.
Hopefully you're not as sad as us.
Yes.
Because we were sad. Just look at a pokey butt.